Hey, what's going on, cruisers? Welcome to the show. I'm Brad. I'm the host of Coach Cruise. For anybody that's new out there in any way, we are talking about Carnival again, and this is it's not an old topic, but it's not a new topic either, right? But it is a topic that many of you have reached out to me and said, "Hey, Coach, thank you for using your platform in the past. Don't forget about us. Carnival still hasn't done anything." And that's true. We're talking, of course, about the loyalty program or the lack of loyalty program in regards to Carnival and how it affects their largest cruise base, which is their platinum cruisers. And interesting story. Well, not that interesting, but I was walking Zoe here just before the show, and I asked ChatGPT, which I know more and more of us are using, right? I said, how many platinum cruisers are there with Carnival? And ChatGPT shot out 80,000. And I'm like, I thought it was more than that. And then it went on to say, well, it was 80,000 in 2015, but that's the last time Carnival reported how many platinum cruisers they were. Now, they did say that the platinum cruisers has more than doubled since the last reporting. So that means there are at least 160,000 platinum members and maybe over 200,000 platinum members. And all of those platinum members, you know what Carnival's giving you? Well, they're giving you what they're giving you: a little pen, some water, a couple bags of laundry, a little time to board earlier until your grace period's over. And then you got to re-up the ante and earn everything back. You got to become loyal again. You've been loyal all this time, but once your status runs out or your grace period runs out, you're no longer loyal in their eyes, right? And you have to earn whatever little perks they're giving you. So we're going to talk about that. I released a video, of course, that several of you saw and commented on. But before we get into all of that happy news, let's get to some of our happy followers here and say hi to everybody in the comments. And if you are new to the channel, I always like to see our returners, because, that's the family, or the familia. That's the familia right there. So I'd love to see everybody returning, but I do love to see new names too. And I especially love to see those new names now, why will this not play? Okay, so I have the, okay, here we go. It just went on. I was trying to find the live so I could see on my phone there, and that way I can see comments in both places. But here nor there. All right, we have admin Tim gets the gold medal today. First to comment saying hello to everyone, and then Klesko is back on the podium getting the silver. Happy Tuesday. I hope everyone is having a great week. And then let's see who is after that. We have JB. JB has the bronze. And then Mike Clark was just in after that saying hello, everybody. It's chilly here in Tampa. Well, Mike, let's see. It was warm today in Chicago. And by warm, I mean it was 30 degrees. So I don't know what chilly means in Tampa, but I'm guessing it might be a little bit warmer than 30, but probably 50 down there feels like, 20 to us up here. So I get it. Will G is in the house saying hello to everybody. What's going on, Will? And Mike is only 4 days away till they get to cruise on the Carnival Paradise. And yeah, speaking to that, I know it has been chillier down there in the Florida area. As a matter of fact, I know many people that have been cruising lately have been saying that the cruises they've been on, it's been very cold and chilly. I know there was a lot of bad reports about the Carnival Sunshine and how the entire ship didn't feel like there was any heat. And a lot of people were complaining about it. I saw that with our friend Cruise with Jen and one of her posts that she shared. And she shared some pictures of, some of her followers, blocking windows and such to stop the draft from coming in. from the outside and stuff. I did have a cruise like that. I forget what ship I was on. It was a Carnival ship, and we did the Bahamas and a couple others. But I remember we had a balcony, and of course you're paying extra for a balcony, right? And I think we went out on the balcony like when we were in port, and that was it. And I mean, it was just simply too cold and windy to go out in the balcony again. So you pay that extra money for that balcony, and it's like, dang, why didn't we just get an ocean view? We could have saved a few $100, right? We didn't even get to enjoy the balcony, but it's like that sometimes. So I feel bad for any of you that were in that situation watching. Admin Tim and Cheryl got back from their cruise on the 24th, and their friends had to go home to 10 inches of snow. Fun. Hot Tea is back saying what's up. And I think Hot Tea shared a post, if I remember correctly, saying that they wanted to look at some new itineraries. They wanted to stop going to some of the same destinations. So we're looking for help on that. So I hope you got some help on that and something clicked. Okay, so here's one. We have Jay Lang Photo. MSC does status match. Carnival made a grave mistake. One MSC cruise this year in November and Yacht Club next year, and I will be in their top tier. Thanks, Carnival. You know what? That is a great point. And okay, I've been hearing a lot about this Yacht Club. And, I heard it's even better than like the Havana area on the Carnival's Vista class ships, because all the drinks are included. I did hear it's a pricey thing to get into that Yacht Club, but that it is amazing. And I gotta say, I want to go. One of the worst things Carnival ever did, of course, is this new VIFP loyalty plan, because what it did is it said everybody was focused, right? You had brand loyalty, you were loyal to Carnival, you didn't even bother checking other lines, because you were, making your progress up the ladder, getting, to platinum, or from red to gold, and gold to platinum, and platinum to, diamond. And it wasn't that they were giving you that much, but, the value with Carnival is good and everything. And, you were happy with the experience, and there was no real reason to go anywhere else or look anywhere else until Carnival gave you a reason. And when everybody put their arms up and said how bad it was, and they had the chance to fix it right away, and they just did a little tiny tweak, it's like they're trying to get away with as little as they can get away with giving. And that's what just makes them seem greedier and greedier and greedier, right? It's not their crew that's greedy. It's the big bosses making the big money that are greedy, right? So hopefully with enough voices, enough comments, and again, if you haven't already seen that video I put out just yesterday, I changed the title. And I changed the title because of that comment that I told you about, that there's at least 160,000 platinum members who are basically being ignored. Now, if Carnival is going to watch this, I know they're seething mad watching me right now and throwing daggers at the computer screen or TV or whatever they're watching on it, saying, shut up, coach, you idiot, or this and that, and just being mad as hell at me. But it's true. They've ignored you, right? Because, they will come on and say, we're going to give you a fun experience and you're going to make memories and stuff. And all that is true, right? But, you want, it kills me when they say this, we're listening. We're listening to you. No, you're not. Carnival, no, you're not. Because if you were listening, 100% of the comments that I get on these videos, and I've done probably 5 or 6 on this topic. So we're talking about thousands of comments. And if it's not 100%, it's 99.5% of the comments are from platinum members and some diamond members too, that are just mad as hell that Carnival can't get this right and can't, do a combination of the rewards program and loyalty. People aren't even telling you to get rid of the rewards program. They're just saying, let us keep what we've earned. Is that too much to ask? Especially when you never gave any warning whatsoever. As a matter of fact, Carnival did the opposite of this. And some of this, is reiterating things that we've talked about before. But when people were on their way up the ladder in loyalty plans, hitting different tiers, when you went to the VIFP parties and things like that, all they ever suggested was that the loyalty plan was going to stay. And, ooh, how about our first platinum person? And, oh, wait till you get to diamond. And, oh, when they talked about the kids, they're like, oh, when they grow up, they're going to already be diamond and they haven't even turned 16 yet, and this and that. And everything suggested that this plan was going to be around forever until they yanked the rug out from everybody. Okay. And Carnival did good by the diamonds. They did good by the diamonds. And it took them a minute, right? It took them a minute, but then they said, you know what? Diamonds are going to be forever. And here's the thing that's scary. The thing that's scary to me is I'm wondering if that whole Diamond Dash thing, let's make some money off this screw up that we did. We know we royally screwed up, but let's make some money off of it, right? This is Carnival. I'm wondering if this happened. People are mad and everything that we're going to take this away. So how about we say diamonds are forever? And then we'll extend the time length for people to, become diamond. We'll even give them motivation. We'll give them double the days and triple the days in some cases, and try to sell more cruises so people can buy more and more and more cruises, making us more and more and more money so they can get to diamond and be safe. What if we do that? Would that make us some extra money? And all the greedy corporate bigwigs and beards and stuff are scratching their head. That's a brilliant idea. Let's do that. I'm wondering if that happened. I'm not saying that happened for sure, because, I don't want to get John Heald yelling at me again. I'm not saying that happened for sure, but it's plausible, isn't it? I mean, they are a business, they are a corporation, and they're trying to make money. But, well, we're gonna talk more now. Okay, I'm gonna stop rambling for just a second. All right, Teru Coleman. Again, I talked earlier. I wanted to see some new names in the chat. And Teru, I think you are new. So welcome. And I hope this is not your first and only time. James Hawkins, good to see you back. Says, hello, coach. Great topic tonight. Thank you for that. Jay Lang Photo is, that was our first comment that we had up on the screen. But again, welcome. Cruise Life TV is here, one of our regulars. They were just on the show last week. And they're not feeling too good, but I'll tell you what, they're going to be feeling really good in a couple weeks, because they will be going on the Mardi Gras, and we discussed them possibly joining us live on the Tuesday night that they are on the Mardi Gras, the week of Valentine's. So that's going to be a fun Valentine's there for Greg and Michelle. So looking forward to that. Admin Tim, my 50th anniversary was going to be with Carnival, but it will be with someone else now. Boom. Drop the mic. Admin Tim is not messing around. Admin Tim, as you know, he's been, with me from the start, basically. And, that's a dramatic statement, because we've both almost exclusively cruised Carnival, and Admin Tim is a platinum, and one of these platinums that won't make diamond. And here again, Admin Tim is a great example, that if Carnival just came out and said, you know what, we screwed up. And they never say that, by the way. They never say that. When John Heald comes out, he never says, you know what, the Carnival brass told me to tell you all we're sorry. We screwed up. Okay, they'll say, oh, I have great news. We're now, we're going to make diamonds forever. And he'll share the great news and everything. But he never comes on and says, you know what, we as a cruise line screwed up. They never have, not once. Has anybody ever heard them take any kind of blame or any kind of responsibility for some of their poor decisions? Like they will make things right. I'll say that. Like if they screw up on the ship and everything else like that, and John has talked about this plenty, and they have made things right. They've made things right with me. But I'm talking about when they're speaking to the mass public. When John Heald is the spokesperson or whatever, he's talked about that, them doing a couple screw ups, but I'm talking about in situations like this when they have a big rollout of something. If they go back on something, I've never heard them say, you know what, the Beards talked and they realized this wasn't the right thing for us, and so this is why we. I never remember him saying that. I'm curious. I could be wrong, and if I am, please post that in the comments. All right, but yeah, in Mentem, like I said, I know he would have, like he said, he would have been with Carnival for that 50th, and that's a big celebration. And Carnival, that's the thing. Why? Why? And we're going to get into why that's so frustrating in just a second. All right, James Hawkins has 12 more days. Carnival Sunshine, snow cruise. Yeah, and well, it's funny you mentioned that because I obviously did not know you were going to say that. I didn't see that comment before I mentioned it, but I think it was the sunshine or sunrise that they were talking about was really cold. So hopefully they get that sorted out. And yeah, Edmonton, when is that 50th, by the way? Okay, Sandy the Lost Pirate Jenkins here. And you know what? I'm going to point out to Sandy and anybody that's a member today, toward the end of the show, Bridget, my girlfriend, she's going to pop in. And for those of you that are actively watching the vlogs and things like when I go on cruise, you'll see the last 2 cruises. Bridget has been with me, so you've seen her in several videos and everything, but I really haven't had her, in the lives or anything. She popped in here once or twice just to say hi. And I asked her today, she's actually working now, but she should get here before the end of the hour to pop in here these last 5 or 10 minutes. And then for members only, and I did drop, and let me see if I can drop it again, if it's still saved. Oh yeah, okay. So there is the link to, the members only. So if you did do a members only, we put some extra videos in there. And the members only videos stay up there. So there's some unique videos. I'll say that there's some unique videos. One of them involves Bridget that are in there that only members get to see. And it's $5 a month. So if you'd like to support the channel, that's a great way to do it. And we support some of our friends' channels that have started channels by doing the same type of thing. Carnival Cruise Addicts comes to mind. And yeah, they in turn support us, and that's what we do. And like JB, I haven't even gotten to it yet, but I see that he did. I think that's JB. I see the little yellow marker up on the top of my screen. Continues to support via super chats, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But yeah, the $5 thing, that's an easy way. And then so anybody that's a member, Sandy and Tony, I see is here saying, "Hey coach, hey friends." He is a member as well. Yeah, you'll get to see that. And if anybody has questions, we're going to be talking about, because she's a relatively new cruiser, going to be talking about some of her new cruise experiences. You'll get to know what she does, things like that. How we met, that kind of deal. So, little personal live afterwards. All right. The 50th, that is really big. Okay. This is good to know. So Jay Lang paid $2,200 for Yacht Club on a 4-day for next September. One good deal. Okay, is it? I'm guessing that's $2,200 for 2 people, and yeah, that would be 1,100 breakdown. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I know they just pamper you, and I think you have your own private butler, and all the drinks are included, and I just hear that it's like amazing. So I definitely want to check that out. All right, Brian Lloyd is here again. Dang, coach, we didn't make it a day, and here we are again. Preach it. Well, I appreciate that, and I'm preaching. And I know for some, this topic is just kind of like, it's been talked about, whatever. But again, so many people have reached out and said, you know what, we're still mad about this. We still want to see change. And I know Carnival was probably looking at all the videos and their media team and everything saying, oh, good. This is dying down a little bit. Let's hope this continues. And again, while it was dying down, it died down with me, not because I didn't realize it was still a problem. It's just that I had done like 4 or 5 videos on it. And, when we had talked at it, kind of ad nauseum for a duration of time or whatever, and it's like, okay, I don't want to just keep talking about the same thing over and over again. So that's why I gave it some time. But then more and more of you reached out, messaged me and things like that. I know I mentioned Celso in the video. He had not only messaged me, but when we were on the cruise, you saw that picture of him, those of you that watched the video, him and his family, and he said they already moved on. And if you look through the comments of that video I released yesterday, so many people have said they've already moved on. And even the comments today, I forget who it was, but they said, well, I think it was JL Lang, right? They said, they moved on. And they're like, thank you, Carnival. Thank you for being idiots. We found in our opinion, a better cruise line that's given us a better deal and everything. And I will say this, MSC seems to be the one that people keep talking about that is of a great value and comparable or better to Carnival. And again, the thing that is so stupid is, if Carnival was giving away Super Bowl tickets to everybody that was platinum or diamond or whatever, something really good, right? Obviously that's a crazy exaggeration, but they're not giving you that much. It's like, why can't you keep giving the little bit that you're giving and just pay, honor or tribute to the people for their loyalty? Why can you not do that, Carnival? What are you giving? Let's go back over it again. The highlights of what you're giving for platinum, you give them a little party on some ships. That's the, one glass of wine or one drink. And then they tell you how much they appreciate you in the little ceremony, and then you're out. And that's it. Some of the smaller ships, you get lucky and you get multiple drinks or whatever. But there's your little party for platinum members. You get 3 bags of laundry, if you even use that. Some people pack enough to where they don't even want to mess with the laundry or write up the little thing. Some people use it. I use it. I love the free laundry thing. I'm not going to lie. And then you get to call in a couple days earlier to sign up for a boarding time. Okay. Some of these ports, that's pretty valuable because the boarding can get, a little congested and everything. And to get on an extra hour and a half early, that's nice, if you're there and you're ready, but it's not that big a deal. When you look at the duration of the cruise, if the cruise is 7 days long, what's an hour and a half over 7 days? It's really not that much. And then you get a little pen and you get a little gift. And honestly, some people like the gifts. It's a gift, some of them are cute. Some of them are nice. Some of them are handy in their own ways, but honestly, they're not like high quality. They're relatively cheap gifts. They don't cost a lot. Okay. So that's it. That's what you're saying. We can't do it anymore. We can't do it anymore, Platinum Cruisers. We're giving you too much. And here's what's even worse. To stay platinum, you know what they're taking away? Because they're giving you so much, what they're taking away and not replacing it with anything that's better, they're taking away the little pins that you stick on and people put on their hats or whatever, or their jackets or whatever. They're taking those away, which a lot of people thought were really cute and like those. And they're taking away the gift, the little, the relatively cheap little gift that they would give you for being platinum or diamond. Two of the best things of what I just mentioned, they're taking that away. And to stay platinum, I forget the right amount of money. That's why I'm saying it's something like $30,000 you got to spend or something, or accrue in points, or it's something ridiculous. Like the amount that you have to spend to get that platinum status with this new rewards program, it's absurd. It is absolutely absurd. Okay, so why can Carnival not just say, you know what, you make it, you get to keep your couple bags of laundry. You know what, we'll bring back the damn pens. We'll bring back the cheap gifts. We'll even do that. How much money are you losing by doing that, Carnival? Really? How much money are you losing by doing that to keep your customer base happy? And that is what's so damn frustrating. And, I've talked to some of my colleagues about this, And, some of them, fairly, they're like, yeah, you know what? I mean, we want them to change it, but we're not going to be too bothered by it or whatever. And I get that. I get that. And honestly, and to some other people's points, they're like, well, I don't do it for the perks or anything like that. And I get that too, because why would you? I mean, the perks aren't that great to begin with. I do like the laundry. I'm not going to lie, because it allows me to pack less. And when I'm doing bar crawls and stuff, and I have a bunch of shirts to pack for people, then it packs my luggage, and I don't want to bring extra bags. So, to be able to rewash stuff and use it a second time, I do appreciate that. And I do like to board a little bit earlier. That's fun. But, I could care less about the little pen. I could care less about the little gift. I give it away like almost 100% of the time, sometimes immediately. And sometimes I'm guilty of not even going to pick it up. It's because I kind of forget about it, to be honest. It's not that, I wouldn't take it if they handed it to me. I kind of just forget it. And I'm like, well, it's just a little shit pen that I don't put on anything. But I do collect stuff. I'm one of those people that used to collect baseball and football cards and all that kind of stuff. So I understand that it's nice, for people that collect stuff. And if I did collect those pins and I just started doing it from the beginning, I probably would have a nice little collection of them somewhere and be like, oh, I remember that cruise and that kind of thing. So I'm not putting anybody down. If you like the pins, hey, I appreciate that fully. Okay, so JB says, I feel like a redheaded stepchild as a gold level with CCL. You know what? And nobody, honestly, JB, nobody should feel that way. And it's a shame that Carnival has made some people feel that way. All right. So I'm just going through some of the comments. Taru Coleman says, Coach, it worked on me. I booked 8 cruises. You know what, Taru? And again, brilliant marketing by Carnival. And I'm wondering, and I said this on another show, I'm wondering if Carnival wants to grandfather all the platinum people in, but they just can't do it now because they've already done this diamond dash, and it would be like pulling the rug out twice from people. And it's like, all these people that booked all these cruises like yourself, to get to diamond, and then they'll like, if they say, oh, you know what, never mind, we're just going to grandfather all the platinums in now anyway, which I hope they do. But to the people that booked all those cruises, they'll be like, well, screw you, Carnival. You made me book all these extra cruises to get the diamond. But I think that's a pill most people would be willing to swallow, right? It's like, oh, I have more cruises to go on. Darn it. I mean, I know it's money. Don't get me wrong, but at least you're getting something in return for it. So yeah, but I hear you on that. But I'm wondering if that's the reasoning, that Carnival just realized they could make money. They could make more money, try to get people to go after this diamond and then switch it. Right. All right. So JB, thank you, sir, is getting us started. And we are going to be giving away, I think, something today because of JB's super chat right there. We are up to 90. So that means we only need 10 more. Last week we had Charlene, JB, Yoli, Legion. I couldn't even read my own writing. I think it's Legion River was a new super chatter last week. CLTV, Cruising Chris Moss, who's on his way back from a cruise. And then now starting us off this week is JB. And I'm thirsty. And Zoe, come on, Zoe. All right. So Zoe is like, you know what? If I'm not getting paid to be up here, I'm not going to be seen on screen. But now you're getting paid. You're getting paid in the form of a treat by JB. So high five to JB. What do you say, man? What do you say? She says thank you. She had a little thank you there. And JB, I don't know if what did you pick last week? I think you picked Buffalo Trace. I think you did. So we'll go with the Buffalo Trace. I ordered a new shot glass. This one's got a little wear and tear on it. But I ordered a new shot glass from Temu. It's supposed to be put your own design on it one. It cost me about $6. So might get it in about 2 or 3 weeks. We'll see. But I might have a new shiny glass shiny shot glass coming. But JB, thank you for getting us started as far as the super chats go. Anybody new to the channel, how the super chats work, you can win one of my t-shirts, or you can win a cooler, a very large cooler. It's a collapsible cooler, but it's a very large one. It'll hold at least 30 cans and some snacks and everything else like that. A lot of people I've heard have been using it when they go to the grocery store and stuff to put cold or hot items in, and it can carry a lot too. So for that reason, so a cooler or any one of my shirts, your choice. Once we reach 100 in super chats, I do a random drawing on air so everybody can see. And if your number matches up with the number on the phone when I do the drawing, then you get the prize. So JB, for example, on this super chat is numbers 76 through 90. So when I do the super chat drawing, if I draw any number 76 through 90, then he would win. And if you did a $1 super chat next, you'd be 91. And then if I drew 91, then you would win for a $1 super chat. So here we go. Thank you, JB. Oh, the Buffalo Trace is good. It is good. Baby Cuts Music is back, and Baby Cuts Music is Bridget's band. If you go on YouTube and you look up Baby Cuts, you will find her and her band. Victoria Stone is saying hello from California. Derek Flores, have you heard about Carnival going up on the gratuities again following Margaritaville? Yeah, I did hear that. It's $1, honestly. I'm not worried about it. I mean, if anything, great, good. I mean, the crew members, they work so hard, and I mean, $1 a day. I mean, you go on a 7-day cruise for you and your partner, $14. What's another $14? I mean, if it's going to them, and I think I really do feel like the cruise lines do take all that money and put it back to the people, and especially the people behind the scenes that we don't see. That's why I feel like the gratuities they collect are so important, because a lot of people like to bring extra for the cabin steward, and that is great, and I wholly endorse that as well. But I like that in addition to the regular gratuities, because there's people we're never going to see, that are doing laundry for hours and hours and hours and hours. For example, you got clean linens and towels and fresh towels every day and stuff like that, and those people you never see, and they're going to get some gratuities. I'm cool with that. So yeah, that part doesn't bother me. But I did hear about that. No accountability at all regarding Carnival and sticking with their. Yeah. Let's see here. Will G is only 12 more days till the dream. And Will G, I will say, man, he was on a stretch last year, I think, where it seemed like every week we were seeing Will on another cruise. And he's retired now. So maybe Will G is going to get back in that rhythm again. Here is the members only thing. So if you join today, for example, you'll get to see that members only video after this show, immediately following this show. And Tony is going to be on the Venezia. That's the last ship I just got off of. I know the Venezia is not for everybody. It's a really pretty ship, but I think some of the things that people might be a little bit off by the Venezia. For one, the Lido deck. The Lido deck is a little bit confined. The Rococo bar and the Java Blue Cafe, for example, those are very big storefront type things, and they take up a lot of the floor space. Also, the deck 11 extends out into what would normally be open air space, on the Lido deck. And then, because it's, the covered area, they've in turn filled that with tables and stuff. So there's simply just not enough deck space for people to lay out, be in the sun, or when they're having deck parties to get more people out on the deck space and then having fun and things like that. So it's a little bit more laid back in a sense, because of that. That's one of the things that I'm like, I'd rather have that more open space. But there are some really good redeeming qualities about the Venezia too. But I have no doubt you will have a good time on the Venezia. And honestly, in some ways, some people may find that better. So it just depends on what you you like. Tim, we renewed our vows on our 40th on the Vista. Carnival's going to lose some good money on our 50. Yeah, you know what? I'm wondering, admin Tim, could Carnival potentially change your mind? Could they do something that would be like, you know what, Tim, we saw your comment. We feel bad that you've needed to go there, whatever. Could they change your mind? I'm just curious, or whether if they could earn your trust back or not. Teruse says their loss, pass so we can come celebrate you. Yeah, post so we can come celebrate with you. Yeah, definitely. I'm curious about that as well. And then Tim says he will post it. Jay Lane, Carnival's going to wonder why the hyenas are on board and their boats are filled with nobody that actually spends money. They will falter, and I will enjoy to watch the downfall. Yeah, well, Jay Lane, that's kind of to your point there. I just don't understand. And I've had several people, I'm not saying they're defending Carnival, but they're telling me, well, Carnival, they know that they're going to continue to make money. They know that they're averaging X number of new cruisers coming in every year, and that some of these new cruisers will replace, some of the people that are upset and that are going to be moving on. But the thing I don't get is, like, why the hell would you do that? Like, why would you be okay with that if you're a business? Like, oh yeah, we're okay with thousands of people just moving on and going to other cruise lines. Why would you do that? Okay, because I mentioned in the video, how McDonald's and stuff, they build those playgrounds not just for a fun place for the kids to be, but they want families to come there and have birthdays and celebrations and just come there to eat lunch and let their kids play in the playground or whatever, and then create those fond memories. And then it's like, what's every kid's favorite fast food restaurant? Well, I'm not saying every kid's favorite is McDonald's, but those that are going to those playgrounds and having a good time there and stuff like that, they create that food, and that associated with McDonald's is heartwarming and comfortable and fun, right? And then you create that brand loyalty. Carnival had so much brand loyalty with so many of you, and you've admitted it. You've admitted it right here in the comments. You've admitted it in the comments on my videos. And then they just are throwing that away. It's like, I mean, I don't know a ton about business, but I do know that businesses spend millions, if not billions of dollars every year to secure or try to earn business and keep customers with them and happy and things like that. And they keep spending money, right? To keep those customers, with them, and offer promotions and things like that. It's just like, why would Carnival? Because they don't want to give you, priority boarding, because they don't want to do a couple bags of laundry for you. Like, what the hell is that costing them? Like, again, why can you be so stupid as to offend and disrespect your largest customer base, which is at least 160,000 by your words, Carnival, not mine? Okay, because you went on record as saying it was 80,000, and that's more than doubled since you last announced the number. So it's probably about 200,000 Platinum Cruise members. Why would you go and tick off, 20% of 1 million people? That some of them have kids that are going to grow up. And if you can create those same fun memories with those kids, guess what? They'll become loyal members of Carnival Future Cruisers as well. And you're discarding that like it doesn't mean anything. Like, oh, well, we know we can get some new cruisers. And yeah, you know what? Maybe you can get some new cruisers to fill up the ships. But as I mentioned in the video, yesterday, it's like, if you have more cruisers and you have less space for people to try to get into those cabins, couldn't you charge more then? Right? If you have, a ship that holds 5,000 people and 5,500 are trying to get into that ship for a particular week, can't you charge more because the demand is high? Whereas if you have, 5,000 people, but you only have demand from 4,800, well, then you got 200 people, and you have some empty cabins there. You have to do some promotions and some sales and lower the price just so you can fill up those cabins, just so John Heald can come on and say, we've sold out 95% of our thing. But you could have sold it out for a lot more money, right? I mean, almost every cruise line can say that they have sold out a large percentage of their cabins, but at what price? At what price? And again, if you keep more loyal cruisers, you probably can charge a higher price because the demand is going to be higher because there's going to be more cruisers that are going to want those cabins. But you don't want to give them a couple damn free bags of laundry and come up with some other idea besides priority boarding, if you can't do that anymore, to make them happy. Doesn't make sense. All right. Who dat? Comics. I think you are new, so I'm glad to see this comment. Carmen pulled a Southwest Airlines. No need to stay loyal to them since they don't care. Keep talking about it, Coach, all caps. And I will. I will keep talking about it. And again, I've said this before. I'm diamond, but if I was platinum, guess what? And I know many of you are. I know Admin Tim is, and I'm pissed off for you. Pissed off for you because you have to look at it from other people's shoes, right? And just be like, you know what? If I was in their shoes, I would be so damn mad about this, right? And this isn't right. And you could just look at it and say, you know what? This isn't right. And you gotta join, you gotta join, even if it doesn't directly affect you. If somebody's being wronged, you gotta join and say, you know what? No, do better, Carnival. And you can. And why you don't is what's frustrating to all of us. And again, most videos I'll do and stuff like that, I'll get some feedback in a negative way, or people not agreeing and everything else like this. We're talking about damn near 100%, if not 100% of the comments and all the videos related to this are just irate at you, Carnival, that you can't get this right. And again, you're not giving them anything for you to not do it. You're not giving enough. And that's what's so frustrating, because people have been so loyal to you to help build this company up, and you're not doing anything. Okay. I start talking about stuff and then I get a little heated. We got Andy Simo, and I know he's cruising right now. He said, hey, Coach, from the beautiful Cunard Queen Elizabeth, sailing from St. Lucia to Barbados. Thought I'd join your live to say that they chased this diamond away, sir. And he's diamond. And you know what, Andy? I mean, what a perfect transition. I just said, if you, even if you're diamond or whatever, and now they're taking care of diamonds. But Andy, even as a diamond, and I've heard this from several diamonds, I posted the comment, I think last week, that somebody shared, and they said, you know what? We hit diamond. And actually, no, it was on that video I did yesterday. We hit diamond. And you know what? We're still going to leave because Carnival did this. And again, not everybody's left yet, Carnival. You can still save quite a lot of people if you just make this right. And maybe some of the people will come back that have already left. Some of them aren't, because they're happier with the other cruise lines. You've made them. You've pushed them to go check out these other cruise lines. And they've said, you know what? We like this one better. We're not coming back, even if you do change it. It's not even about principle. We just like them better. And you did that. That was your doing, Carnival. So there you go. And Andy, Andy and I cruised together on a particular cruise, had a great time, all the way from the UK, and he flies over here to cruise. He is an avid cruiser. hopefully, Andy, I guess I'm going to have to find you on another cruise line now that you're not doing Carnival anymore. And I'm starting. I will be on an MSC ship this summer in Alaska. So I still have. I will admit, the majority of my cruises are Carnival, until they get to a point where, they're just too upset with me that they say, oh, whatever. I couldn't. I wouldn't. I guess it wouldn't shock me if they kicked me off their cruise line because I'm not throwing rose petals at them, and I'm speaking out about them doing this. But you know what? If you can't speak your mind in America, right, about something you don't think that is right, then where can you do it, right? And especially when so many of you are in agreement. So if they were to do that, well, then they could do that. They have that right, I guess. I don't think they will. And again, I will say this, and I'll keep saying it. I can't love a crew and a staff more than I love the crew and staff on Carnival ships. Anything, anytime I do a vlog or whatever, you see that I'm, having a good time and the crew is great and everything else like that, and never talk, in a negative way. I will talk negative way about something like this because this is stupid and it's bad and it hurts cruisers like yourself and it upsets you or whatever. So it upsets me. So, I think it's fair to talk about. Okay. I'm doing a lot of talking here. So casual cruisers, it'll be cheaper to buy faster to the fun than try to keep the platinum status. Yeah, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. Sandy Lost Pirate Jenkins says pens might be worth a lot of money if they do away with them. Yeah, that's a good point. Will G says only had to book 3 more cruises, was able to take advantage of the 3 times and 2 times deals. Okay, so Will G, is going to be Diamond or is Diamond now. So, he's in that safe zone, which again, I'm glad that I'm in it. And, I have cruised Carnival so much. You talk about being loyal to Carnival. I have over 400 days with Carnival. So I've been very loyal to them and I've been, very happy with them and the value and everything. But again, I can still be happy when I go on a cruise with Carnival and I can still call them out for something I'm disappointed in. And this is disappointing, and it's disappointing to, me for all of you. Mike took advantage of the 3 times deal. Sharon Woodard. All right. And Sharon and I have cruised together. She has become a new YouTube member, so she can catch that live with Bridget and myself. And look at this. We got admin Tim. Get Zoe back up for a treat. Zoe, do you want a treat, Zoe? I think you do. Admin Tim and Cheryl have provided you a savory treat. So what do you say to them? She says thank you. She says thank you. And immediately right behind, we have Trisha Nichols. And good to see you back again, Trisha. And you know what? So we got admin Tim here. And that is a $10 super chat. And that gets us to our 100. So we are going to do a super chat drawing. And then Trisha, thank you so much, has got us started on our next 100. And because those 2 were back to back, there wasn't even a comment in between. Normally it's $15 super chats. But again, admin Tim, because he's admin Tim, he gets his shots for 10 anyway. But we are going to put Trisha and admin Tim together in this one. And you know what? Let's go. And I didn't give JB his quacks for the $15 super chat earlier. We're going to get out the single barrel. I like the wax that they put on this thing here. The single barrel Evan Williams for Trisha and admin Tim and Cheryl. Thank you for that, guys. And Sharon, congratulations on being a new member. Hopefully you stick around for the live after the live. That's a good one, too. That's a good one, too. So extra quacks, Tim and Trisha. Andy says, I found Royal with its printed perks to casino points transparent. And I know my goals and what I want to spend in my return yeah, Yeah, and a lot of people, and again, that's the thing. That's the thing that is just so dumb about what Carnival did is, the thing I've learned about business. I did take some business classes in college, and I've read some books and things like that. But the thing I learned about business is they say you don't let those people walk out the door. You don't let them walk out the door. You keep them. Okay, you need to keep them happy, and you need to keep them as loyal to your company, to your business. And the amount of stupidity, the level of stupidity that this is, to allow people and almost downright encourage people to go other places rather than keep them in house and keep spending money with your corporation, is just one of the dumbest damn things I've ever seen any major corporation do. And I'm not kidding. I mean, it's just beyond stupid to me. And again, I'm not the sharpest crayon in the box, and there's so much about business I don't know, but that seems like common sense, that you want to keep that money at home. You want to keep that money in your pocket and not allow it to go be put in somebody else's pocket. So, yeah, I don't know. Mandy is here. What's going on, Mandy? Together We Travel is here. Charlene has checked in. Ashley has checked in. What's going on, everybody? Yoli is back once again. Good to see Yoli and Andrew and Naya, if Naya's over at your house. My Steelers friends, yes, Yoli and Andrew are Steelers friends, along with the Men 10, and I will text them occasionally in regards to Steelers news, and they will text me in regards to Raiders news, which I got my Raider hat on today. If everybody can see, I'm happy with the Raiders now, probably because they're not playing football. That's the one time of the year that I'm happy with them, is when they're not playing football. But I'm happy for you football fans out there, because we got Fernando Mendoza. Oh my God, I wish I had it. It just got here yesterday. Threw it in the laundry because it's coming out of package. You know what I got? I got one for Bridget too. Fernando Mendoza Raider jersey. And I know some of you are saying, well, wait, coach, the draft hasn't even happened. Are you sure? They better. Okay. I already bought the jersey. Okay. If they don't draft Fernando Mendoza with the number 1 overall pick, I'm taking this damn hat and I'm burning it. Okay. They better draft the man, right? They better draft the man. I mean, couldn't ask for a better quality kid, everything else like that, and a damn good football player. And I think that's the beginning stages of trying to turn things around for the Raiders. And I know this isn't cruise talk, so I apologize to everybody for that. And then the guy that's in the Super Bowl, that is in charge of the offense of the Seattle Seahawks, their offense coordinator is this guy named Clint Kubiak. The Raiders have agreed that he's going to be the new head coach. So he's an offensive-minded coach, and every team that he's gone to, the quarterbacks have played very well. And so, the Raiders finally seemingly are doing something smart. They're pairing an offensive whiz who has done great things with quarterbacks with their new quarterback, which is going to be Fernando Mendoza. And then hopefully they have a lot of free agent money that they can expend. Hopefully they buy him some guys that will actually protect him and not like get him killed, that'll block for him and stuff. And who knows? The Raiders might win more than 3 games next year. Maybe we'll win 7 or 8. You never know. You got to be hopeful. All right, we got the doctor in the house. He's like, I'm platinum and left Carnival and now love Royal Caribbean. There's another one that got away, Carnival. You did it, Carnival. JB says, all Carnival had to do was create a new loyalty level and reshuffle the perks. Yeah. I mean, anything, damn near anything they could have done would have been better, right? EJ, by the way, if you haven't hit that like button, if you could hit that like button, I would definitely appreciate that. EJ, and I think this is a new poster commenter. I hope you keep coming back every Tuesday. I did a 2-week journeys on the Venezia and loved it. Perfect ship to relax, enjoy sitting around with the masses on Lido. Did the Firenze in a few months after and loved it even more. That's beautiful. And like I said, the Italian themed ships, they have their pros and cons by comparison to your normal Carnival ships. Some of you might like those differences more than the typical Carnival. It just depends on your taste. But yeah, you can definitely relax a lot more on the Italian themed ships. I definitely agree with that. Even the outside areas cater to that as well. Doctor, I'm platinum at Carnival, last sailed and then last September, switched to Royal with 0 cruises, but now we'll be Diamond Plus this summer. RCL has much better loyalty perks. There we go. Clesco earlier this week, they increased the gratuities. Not sure if that's any sign of things to come. Yeah, again, it's only $1 a day more. I'm not concerned too much about that, but yeah, I mean, any change is of note. Tony, Carnival should at least keep the platinum tier, even if they want to take away the perks, but let the platinum guests keep their tier cards. To yeah, I mean, like I said, the platinum tier. Again, the perks are just so little to begin with that I just don't get it, right? Sharon Woodward's Hi Coach just joined, just did second celebrity cruise and will be doing their President's Cruise in September. Still have 4 Carnival cruises booked this and next year, but we'll probably lose platinum. And again, I want them to make an announcement, do something. Okay. When they said diamonds were going to be forever, that was met with open arms. Everybody was like, cool, good. Like all the diamonds were like, okay, all right, cool. And then some of us diamonds were like, oh, but you're not taking care of platinum and even some gold, I mean, gold is up to 50 days. It's like gold is even worse. Okay. What do you all give gold, Carnival? What do you give them? Say it louder for the people in the back. I mean, really all you give them is a damn bottle of water and a pin. That's what you give them. You can't keep giving gold members that. You can't give them a damn bottle of water and a pin, and you're getting rid of the pins. So if you kept gold, what are you going to do? Is like, here's your 1 liter bottle of water. Thanks. You can't keep doing that. Honestly, that's even more frustrating. It's like, so the crappy little perks that you're giving everybody, you're saying, oh no, you got to spend $30,000 to get that because those couple bags of laundry and boarding an hour early or so, that's worth $30,000. At least that's what you got to spend to keep those perks. Wow. Really? Okay. And again, this is where you could tie your rewards program in that Carnival wants to do, that all the credit card companies do, is when you spend money and you earn points, you can get free airfare. You can, get free products online. You can get, free benefits on the cruises. You can earn massages in the spa or, free dinners in the steakhouse, whatever. That's a great idea. Get people to spend money that way, but don't disrespect and push away the people that have been loyal to your cruise line for decades, some of them decades, right? I thought about this the other day. You could have conceivably somebody that's cruised with Carnival for over 50 cruises and them not be diamond. Think about it. If you go 3-day cruises, what's 3 times 50? That's only 150 cruises. So there's some cruisers out there. I don't know who you are, but you've only done 3 and 4-day cruises because your work schedule or whatever, and you've done 50 or more cruises and you're still not diamond because those 3 and 4-day cruises don't add up to 200 days. So it's conceivable that somebody has done 50 plus cruises with Carnival and isn't diamond. And you're going to tell me that somebody with 50 plus cruises isn't worthy of keeping your laundry and getting on board a little bit earlier. And well, you took away the pen, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Oh my goodness, look who we got back. We got Sherry. Sherry is back. Sherry is one of our warriors out there. She gets a health problem, and kicked its butt. And then sometimes it comes back and she goes and she takes care of business and she knocks it out. And then, just keeps fighting and being the warrior that she is. And we are so happy to see you back, Sherry. And not only that, but looky there, Sherry does a $50 super chat. Sherry and Jay, you all are the best. And look at this here. I thought about this, and I have Normally I do this for like when we hit some big milestone, but I have the Blantons. So any $50 super chat and anybody that does this in the future, remind me, and big time quackers here, we are going to get out the good stuff here. So we got the Blantons, got to pull that off the top shelf. And let's see, what horse do we have here? I don't know if my eyesight is good enough in this light. I don't know which horse that is. But there's a little tiny letter at the bottom of that horse, if anybody can see it. But that's one of the things that's cool about the Blantons is there's a letter for each one of these little horses, and it spells Blantons. So people collect the horses. I got this cool little display, and it spells out the whole Blantons, and it goes around. And it's got a little horseshoe that the bottle sits in the middle of in my living room. So Sherry and Jay, thank you so much, and great to see you back, Sherry. That's the fastest I've done a Blanton's. And honestly, when I was halfway through this, I'm like, oh my God, wait, I'm shooting this. That's why I kept it in my mouth for a while. I wanted to taste more of it was going down. So yeah, the Blantons, that is the good stuff there. We will go ahead and put that back up on the shelf. But thank you so much, Sherry. And oh, we got to do our drawing too, by the way. But we have so many comments coming in. The Dr. ZJ4. Thank you, Duffy, for the dagger in my back. Now I know RCL has real perks for loyal cruisers like 5 free drinks per day and 2 free days of internet at Diamonds Plus. I now love RCL. And again, Carnival, you did this to yourself. I was telling Bridget, my girlfriend, that I feel like there's a couple, I don't know if it's these foreign investors that when Carnival was, COVID and their stock price was down to like $7 or whatever, and they went and bought like half the company. I don't know if it's some of those bratty trillionaires that came up with this stupid ass idea. I want to kind of think it is. And they're just too damn stubborn. They came up with this stupid idea because they thought it was going to make them more money, right? And they're just got too much ego and too much pride to do the smart thing and get all their, family back. And that's the I say family because what a damn hypocrite you are, Carnival, by using the word family and then turning your back on damn near 200,000 loyal cruisers and not grandfathering them in to your loyalty plan where you're giving them just a couple damn bags of laundry and letting them enter the cruise line a little earlier than everybody else. And you want to talk about family. Really? That's the thing. You talk about being hypocritical. How can you be more hypocritical than that when you're a family cruise line and you turn your back on family? And yes, your loyal cruisers, you should consider them family. And if you don't, you're wrong for that as well. And obviously you don't consider them family because you're saying, yeah, we don't care. If you don't spend enough money, bye. Like a lot of your cruise directors go, bye. That's what the Carnival beards are doing. Bye. That's terrible. Absolutely terrible. All right. Cruising Chris Moss is here. Just coming back from a cruise. Says free speech for Coach and Zoe along with the treat for Coach and Zoe. Unfortunately, I'm back to reality. Clark and Sheffield. He called it. And I got the top off already here. Clark and Sheffield. Love it. We still got to do the drawing. I have not forgot. And I know we are a little over time. And you know what? That's okay because you all have comments. I love it. And Cruising Chris Moss, look at that. We might actually give away 2 shirts today. Cruising Chris Moss, you are 61 through 75. If somehow we have 25 more, we're going to do just that. But we have one drawing for sure, and we are real close to another one. But Zoe, come here. You got another treat. You like treats, Zoe? Yes, you do. Come on. All right, I will do my treat first since Zoe wasn't ready. But thank you, Chris. Chris is making a dent on that Clark and Sheffield. Chris, I think a big chunk of that is on you. So super appreciate that. High five for Cruising Chris Moss. And go check out Cruising Chris Moss's page. What do you say to him? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Big thank you. And you know what? Zoe, we gotta take care of Sherry here and Jay. We're gonna set this one right here in front of me, so I do not forget to do that. Should have done that one first and then caught up to Cruising Chris Moss, but we will get that taken care of. Eddie is here, says, "What's up, Coach? Glad to see you on live," and I thank you, Eddie. Appreciate that. All right, Cruising Chris Moss, let the new countdown begin. 45 days until my next cruise. And Cruising Chris Moss, I think I'm on the same countdown. I think it's about 45 days for us. Ooh, Tim. You know what? Tim, honest to God, if the Raiders, I already have the Mendoza jersey. I might have to wear the Mendoza jersey for everybody on the next show or something. If the Raiders don't draft Fernando Mendoza, I'm going to be looking for a new team. So, you guys can all sell me on the positives of converting to your NFL team or whatever. I've suffered with the Raiders for decades now. They haven't been good since the 80s, early 90s. We made it to the Super Bowl in 2002. We haven't won a playoff game since 2002. 2002. It's 2026. We haven't won a damn playoff game since 2002 when we made it to the Super Bowl. I wish I was lying. Look it up. I wish I was lying. Eddie, exactly like I said in your last video, they cut their own throat. No regards to loyal customers. I'm pissed off and hurt. My kids grew up sailing on Carnival, going on our third Royal Caribbean cruise in March. Well said, sir. Well said. Jay Lang, even if Carnival switches back, I will not be sailing them again. They showed me how much we were worth after 20 cruises with them, which is nothing. They can shove it. And I don't blame you for feeling that way. I don't blame you. But for the people that have stuck it out, I would like to see Carnival kind of make amends and kind of fix things. And, because Carnival staff and the crew that work on the Carnival ships, they're amazing. It's not their fault, right? It's not their fault that the idiots running this damn corporation have screwed this up so badly. And I mean, it's not to say that they couldn't go to other cruise lines and work on other cruise lines. I mean, I realize that they could do that, but it's I don't know. I mean, I don't want to see Carnival fail. I mean, I actually have some Carnival stock, not a lot. I mean, it wouldn't kill me if they did fail, but I would like to see them do the right thing. And you know what? If us together, and our voice is loud enough, and there's enough comments and people, and again, I don't want to make these videos and do these lives or whatever. I'm not trying to, and I know John likes to think like, oh, I'm doing these for clicks and this and that and everything else like that. In this case, no. I mean, there's things and topics and stuff like that. And yeah, you're going to jump on the bandwagon because that's the hot topic if it's a new cruise ship or whatever else like that. But again, I stayed silent on this for months. I didn't talk about it anymore. But, again, I kept getting the urge from not all of you, but many of you who messaged me and things like that and says, hey, don't forget about us. We're still upset about this. And that's why I came out about it, and did it again. So thank you all for making your comments now. Please post on that video that I put up as well. And yeah, I mean, I think if we have enough voices and we're loud enough and share the video and everything else like that, Tony says we will seriously consider switching after the Unhinged cruise in February 27 Unless something changes, we're gold and really don't receive diddly squat. Yeah, you don't. If you're gold, you don't. And that's why I'm saying it's like, we're talking primarily about platinum, but red doesn't get any damn thing. So, I mean, red doesn't matter at all. I'm not saying if you're red, you don't matter. You absolutely matter. But I'm saying in terms of perks, red doesn't get anything that I know of. So, whatever. But gold, that's when you start getting something, which is just basically a bottle of water and a little ship pin. And again, they're getting rid of the damn ship pin. I would like to see them not only come and say, you know what, we're going to take care of platinums. And you know what, guys? We were listening. Carnival, you keep saying that. We were listening. Let's hear you actually act on you listening. Because everybody's screaming at you right now, right? 100% of the people that comment, I know it's a small sample size, but trust me, if this video was shared with everybody, there would be thousands of more comments in support. And virtually 100%, if not 100%, would all be screaming the same thing. Take care of your customer. Take care of your loyal customers. All right? Bring back, you only gave gold a damn bottle of water and a ship pin to begin with. Bring back the ship pins. There's a lot of people that really like those little ship pins. Bring them back. And the bottle of water. And you know what? You don't just make platinum, grandfather. You make gold. And guess what? They can keep moving up the ring. So gold can still become platinum and platinum can still become diamond, right? And the little perks that you're giving platinum, because you took away, that's the crazy thing, is that was the shocking damn thing about this rewards program, right? Is you took stuff away and then you want to charge people money to stay with less stuff, less perks. You're giving less perks and you want more for it. More than the loyalty that they've given you, and some for decades. You want more money. And it's like, how much greed are you satisfied with? And that's the part that just screams ugliness to all of us. And then it would be worth so much if you just said, you know what? We're a business, and yes, we are here to make money. And yes, all of us understand that. But when you tell us you can't afford a little damn ship pin and a bottle of water, that's too much for you to honor gold, right? That's been up to 50 days with you on a cruise. You can't even do that? Like, come on. Come on, Carnival. Be better. Be better than that. Seriously. Okay, you guys got me mad again. I'm sorry. Eddie, icon of the season, August. We got our prime annual cruise certificates from the casino coming in March. That will give 5 cruises with Royal Carnival. Could keep us, but I wasn't loyal. I want to rub it in. And I just let you, Eddie. Very good. Trisha, coach, Bert needs only a L to complete his. Oh, okay. Very cool. You know what? I don't think this is an L. But if I had an L, I would give it. I would definitely give it. I bet you could find it on eBay. Tony thinks MSC is coming to Norfolk. So there you go. That could be another reason there. Jay Lang, I'll look into that. Okay. You guys are talking to each other. The K Keller 77, evening coach. And that is a new name to me. So K Keller, thank you for commenting. And please, please come back every Tuesday. Every Tuesday. All right. We are almost 15 minutes over time. I got to at least try to get through all these comments. Adventures with Uncle Dave. Hey, coach, I've been watching since the start, but I had to say something. It took me 9 years to make platinum, and the rug gets pulled out. 3 cruises booked on other lines. You know what? That is an awesome quote. That is an awesome comment right there. Adventures with Uncle Dave, and he's got a channel as well if you guys want to go check him out. But awesome comment right there. And, Carnival, and you know what? Read it and read it twice. And again, I know I'm on Carnival's blacklist or hit list or whatever now. John Heald, is watching my shows or whatever, and it wouldn't surprise me if he came out with a video, and putting me on blast again, saying that I'm lying about something. I'm not lying about anything. Am I lying about anything, anybody? Am I saying anything that's untrue here? Okay. So, John, if you're going to talk about me, be honest. Okay. Because I'm being honest right now. And a lot of what I'm saying is an opinion. I get it, but I haven't said anything that's wrong or anything that's a lie about Carnival. And if I have, put me on blast. Put me on blast. It's fine. I don't care. And I love you, John. I do. I think John is great. And I think he genuinely cares about the cruisers. And you can see when John is upset. And I mentioned this in the video yesterday. You can see when he's not happy about some news he has to share. You can see kind of the hesitation or the trepidation in his voice or whatever. And you can see when he's happy about sharing news as well. But he's the brand ambassador, so he has to try to present this news to everybody like it's great. And I get that, and he's paid to do a job, and he does his job the best he can. But you can read through it. He's not a good poker player. He's not a good poker player. You can definitely tell. But that's because he cares about the cruisers out there, and that's why I respect him. That's why I respect you, John, if you're watching, because you probably are. You've commented about my videos a few times now, so I get it. But I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe, John. Make sure you got that notification bell hit. I think you do. All right, Sherry, the staff's amazing. They treat us with the utmost respect and are kind and cordial. It's nice to be called out by name at the bars or casino, even in the buffet line. And absolutely, I could not agree with more. And again, I think this is part of the reason why Carnival hasn't already ousted me, even though I've put them on blast for this stuff, is because I always point out the fact that it's not about the staff. It's not about the crew. That I love the Carnival experience because the crew and staff mostly are the ones that make that so great. And, that combined with the value. I mean, I usually get great value, in my cruise, because I honestly don't care. If I have to pay for a couple bags of laundry or whatever, that's not going to be the end of me. If I have to wait an extra hour to get on the ship, that's not going to be the end of me. I don't give a damn about the pins. I don't give a damn about the little free gift. Okay. So I could go to other cruise lines, and with the exception of those couple little things I mentioned, that's not going to be it. For me, it's the value. How much money am I going to save? How many cruises can I take on going on Carnival versus going on another cruise line? So once I get on the ship, my experience on the ship is what matters the most for the dollar that I'm spending. Okay. And Carnival has provided that in a great way, so, I'm not afraid to admit that either. Okay. But at the same point, when we're talking about pennies over dollars, and Carnival just needs to spend a few pennies to keep all of those dollars, and more importantly, keep all the loyal cruisers that have been with you for years happy, I'm going to say something about it. And that's just it. All right. Jay Lang, you're a frequent commenter. And Jay Lang, I hope you keep coming back, because I like the fact that you're putting all these comments up here. We got Rodney Hardy, 2527, 30 years with no one other than Carnival. And this is how we are treated. 29 cruises and almost diamond, but I think I'm done. Family my ass. Amazing comment, Rodney. Let me just say amazing. And Carnival Beards, read that comment and post it up on your big screen at the big high table. Okay? 30 years, 3 decades, 29 cruises, and you all won't give my man a damn priority boarding and a couple bags of laundry for life, because you already got rid of the damn ship pin. Okay? You already got rid of the little party and stuff. Really, Carnival? So post it up on the screen, Carnival Beards, at your next board meeting when you're talking about how many billions of dollars you've made this year. Okay, and you want to share with stockholders. Okay, how hard is it? How hard is it, Carnival? Make it right. Make it right. Don't wait until you finish the Diamond Dash experiment and you've gotten all those cruises booked for the extra 3 months you added on because you were being nice to give people more time to get Diamond. Just do what's right from the beginning. For once, act like you got a damn heart as it relates to your loyalty plan. Mandy, spent all my years as a young adult to become platinum, almost 30 now, and I'm going to lose it. And that's a damn shame. And put that on your screen too, Beards. Put it on your screen. And John, Healed, I hope you're reading these comments. I hope you're reading them. I hope you're reading them and then come out and say something negative about me. Come out and say how I'm saying something negative about you. I'm not saying anything negative about you, but John wants to put me on blast sometimes and act like I'm the enemy. I'm not the enemy. I'm trying to make Carnival better, not worse. I'm trying to make Carnival better, not worse. Carnival, you doing what's right by your customers makes you better. It doesn't make you worse. You know, me talking about helping you get better doesn't make you worse. It makes you better. So do it. Do it. Be better. Mandy says, I guess I should have went Virgin or Royal. You know what? Maybe that's the case. I hope we're wrong, right? Legion Rider. I did have it right. Legion Rider. After 16 years with Carnival, there is no reason for us to stay loyal to Carnival anymore. Would have reached platinum this November on a 15-night Journeys cruise from Italy. And wow, what a cruise. Would have reached. So I'm assuming by the would have that cruise was canceled because you were upset because of the loyalty. And again, Carnival, put it up on your big screen at the board meeting. Put it up on the big screen. And maybe you guys can talk about how you're going to fix this damn thing. And you're going to just say, you know what, Platinums, we're sorry. You know what, Gold, we're sorry. We're going to do a combination of the loyalty plan and rewards. Rewards, we're still going to give our rewards. We still, like that plan, and we want to reward you all for spending money in the casino, for spending money in the shops, for spending money on our cruises. And the more money you spend, the more rewards you're going to get. But you know what? Those of you that are loyal, that keep coming back for years and years and years and years, guess what? Every time you come on the cruise, guess what? You're going to get a big bottle of water. You're going to get a little ship pen because we're going to bring those back too, because we know some of you really like those. You know what? You're going to get that laundry. The platinum people, you're still going to get 3 bags of laundry. So, stuff as much of that laundry as you can in those bags. And, you don't have to bring as many clothes and diamonds. You're going to get all that stuff plus a little bit more. Give you a little captain's party and this and that. And yeah, I wish it was more complicated than that, but it's not. That's really all you got to do, Carnival. And then you get to make everybody happy. And people like me will be making videos and saying, look at what Carnival did. They brought it all back. And you guys get to be heroes for a week or two. Okay. And again, it's costing you pennies on the dollars to do that. And you make the people that haven't left you already, you're going to at least make them happy. And then maybe some of the people that left said, you know what? We do kind of like Carnival a little bit better than this cruise line that we just went to. Carnival's changed their ways and they're honoring us now. Let's give them another try. And maybe you get some of those people back. And you got all these new ships coming. And then maybe you can fill more of those up. And because you have so many customers, because you did the right thing, maybe you can even make a little bit more money off of it, right? I mean, it makes sense to me. KK. Oh, it's Tex. Oh, my God. The KK Keller. Okay, so you changed the name. So Tex, where you been? We missed you, my man. We missed you. And look at this, Sherry again. Oh, my God. We are going to give away the 2 shirts, and we're going to do that right now because Sherry put us over, Sherry and Jay, so 76 through 100. And then Sherry, you're also 1 through 25 on the next shirt. And we got 2 treats. I got to pull 2 treats out here. And we got to do the Bland's again. I didn't think we were going to pull this off the shelf a second time, but I'm going to sip this one a little bit. Let me sip about half of it, and then I'll give Zoe a treat, and then... All right, so we got the Blantons here again. Sherry and Jay, you all are amazing. Zoe, you want another treat? I think you do. I got to get like some lumbar support up here for Zoe or something so she stays on the chair. Sadie used to stay on the chair. But let me do a little sip of this first. That's why it's single barrel. High five for Sherry and Jay. 2 times in one day. What do you say? What do you say? I don't want to kiss again. Say okay. That's all we wanted. And we still got another one here for you, Sherry. So thank you for that. And let me do my second sip here. I didn't want to shoot the whole thing at once because I had a hard time like savoring it. So that's why I did the double here. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. We'll put that back up on the high shelf. And there we go. All right. Oh, that's from Jay. All right. Well, thank you, sir. That one was from Jay. I appreciate Jay. Sherry, thank you too so much. Jay, Sherry, and I, we all had dinner on was it the celebration or the Mardi Gras? I forget which one it was. It was the Mardi Gras or the celebration, but I know we went to the seafood place. What's the name of the seafood place on the XL ships? Oh my goodness. What's the name? Somebody's going to say it. I'm having a brain cramp right now. Okay. I think we're almost to the end here. Jay Lang Carnival has a bunch of corporate sellouts and treated its loyal customers like disposable trash. And that's in all caps. You know what? Jay Lang, you know what? I think that sums up a lot of how people feel in that comment right there. So, yeah. And speaking of Bridget, maybe Bridget will come in here. But Sherry says, hey, Bridget, cheers, beautiful. And then Sherry Bell said it was the celebration. Okay. So, yeah, that was the celebration, but we all had dinner at the good seafood place. I forget the name of it. But, yeah, we had a great dinner there. And Zoe is ready for her second treat from Sherry and Jay. This one's from Jay. The first one was from Sherry. So high five. Well, high five again for both. What do you say? She says thank you once again. And you know what? Thank you, everybody. And what we're going to do now, I know we're almost a half an hour past, but I think Bridget is trying to come in here, and we're going to invite her in. Come on in. So Bridget is coming in. And for those people, and let me see if the link is still alive in my paste feature. Okay. There it is. We are going to go live. And this is Bridget. For those of you that don't know, she's got her Coach Cruise jersey on. It says Cruise in the back. But she just got done doing a little bit of work. But we are going to go live with the members only. So for those of you that are members, please stay close and give us about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes tops. And we're going to be going live again on YouTube. Anybody that would like to join the Q&A with Bridget here, I'm going to do a little interview of her. And then those of you that has questions, Rudy's Sea Grill. That's it. Thank you. Thank you, Legion Rider, for posting that. I'm going to do a little Q&A with Bridget here, give everybody a chance to get to know her a little bit better. And then you can also ask questions in the comments for those of you that are members at least. But you know what, everybody, seriously today, thank you. Thank you, all the super chats, JB, Tim, Trisha, Sherry, Chris, Jay, everybody. Thank you all for the support. And speaking of support, we got to support everybody, right? So the platinum, the gold, everybody that is a loyal cruiser to Carnival. Again, I hope Carnival, I want you to be paying attention to these comments. And if you are, you're going to do something about it. And that video I released the other day, if you haven't seen it already, why don't you jump over there and post a comment about your feelings, especially some of the great comments we got today in this live. I'm sure they're going to be watching that as well. But we got to get this changed. We got to get it made right. So yeah. So again, members only, hang out for just a couple minutes. We'll go live here, Bridget and I, and we'll get this rolling. But thank you, everybody else. And anybody wants to join, I put the link up there if you'd like to join. And oh, shoot. Thank you, Tim. See, this is why he's admin Tim. He says, are you going to draw for shirts? And I have to draw for shirts.
That's a good one, Tim.
That's a great one. So let me close out. Okay. We got 2 shirts to draw for. So look, there's nothing on the screen there. So the first drawing, we have Charlene 1 through 5, JB 6 through 20, Yoli 21 through 35, Legion Ryder 36 through 45, CLTV 46 through 60, Chris Moss 61 through 75, JB 76 through 90, admin Tim 91 through 100. All right. So whatever number I mentioned, if you're in that number range, then you get the shirt or the cooler, whichever you prefer. Siri, give me a random number 1 through 100. 90. JB is in the house. He's number 76 through 90. He just happened to be the first super chatter of the day. Admin Tim missed it by 1. He was 91 through 100. JB was 76 through 90. So JB wins the first shirt. Congrats on that. And so JB, it's a shirt or a cooler. Shirt or a cooler. So if you want the cooler, if you want the shirt, just let me know. I will send you either one. Chris Moss gifted a cooler last week to Danny D, the spectacular supporter. I don't think she's here today, but she will be getting sent that this week as well. Especially now that we'll have at least 3 things going out. Look, I'm like John Hill, Okay, so the next batch is only 4 people because Sherry is a huge chunk of it. So Trisha and Chris, you are the big underdogs here. But Trisha is numbers 1 through 10. Sherry is 11 through 60. Chris Moss, 61 through 75. And then Sherry, again, Sherry and Jay. Jay was the second one, I guess, 76 through 100. All right, so those are the numbers. Siri, give me a random number 1 through 100. 87. 87. So it was 87 and 90. So once again, Sherry had numbers 76 through 100. And Sherry is very lucky. She says that when she goes to the casinos, she usually wins, and she does. And honestly, when she does these super chats, she's usually a winner as well. So Sherry, thank you for that. And again, I got a cooler. I don't know if you guys have a cooler. I know you have a lot of shirts. So Sherry, maybe the cooler will be a new thing. So I can definitely send you one of those coolers if you haven't gotten one. And Sherry, you're also numbers 1 through 25. So we did do the drawing for the shirts now. Everybody is saying congratulations to everybody. And let me point out that Legion Rider became a new member. So he will be seeing that live with Bridget here, Q&A with Bridget here in just a couple minutes. Just give us a couple minutes, I'd say 5-10 minutes max. And we will be going back live again for all you members out there. So stay close, and we will see you all in just a little bit. And one last time, let me share that link if you want to see the interview Q&A with Bridget. There's the link to that. But anybody else, we'll be back next week. There's a good chance we might be back with some of our friends from other cruise channels. We talked about a couple topics today that we might talk about. Some of your fan favorites that are on the show often might be back next week, and it might not just be me solo. So there's still 37 of you on here. If you haven't already liked the show tonight, if you could hit that like button on your way out, much appreciated. But thank you all. Honestly, this was a great show for me. It was a great show for me, and just all the comments and all the support from all of you it made me feel good about what we're trying to do here and get Carnival to switch over to respect and honor all of you that deserve that respect. So, all right, everybody, we will talk to you later. We'll see you next week. Peace.